Right, starting with the session. Yeah, just checking. So I'm just starting with the session. Just give me a minute. Yeah, hi everyone. Any queries that you have, any questions that you have, please post in the chat box. I'll try to answer the queries. So we will be starting in some time with regards to whatever paper analysis, cutoffs, etc. Any queries, any questions that you have, please feel free to ask. Right. Right. So with paper got over, I mean, so first slot, I'm not sure, but there are 5 slots supposed to be there. So we're looking at how the paper and what about the paper, etc. during these slots. So what we'll be discussing, etc. is general idea about the paper, not touching in detail, but general idea about the paper and what this could be the cutoffs and what next. So with paper got over. If you have any queries in the meantime, you can just keep on asking in the chat box. Hi Digvijay. Hi Ryan. So day one slot, I'm expecting 160. Yeah. So let's look at. I'm not saying what marks are. We'll just go about analysis as and when it goes. Um, right. So how much will it affect my percentiles? Look, normalization is not very certain how and what will be. We'll have to just wait and watch in terms of how the normalization will be, and then maybe we'll get a fair idea about it. So we'll just wait and watch. Just give me a minute. Uh, just trying to. Yeah, sorry. So we will be starting in under 2-3 minutes. 58. So maybe in a couple of minutes we'll start, and then you can go over it. Cutoff for top 5 colleges. Yeah, I'll try to put across what are the possible cutoff for the top colleges. Will the normalization affect those who had easy paper? Yes, normalization is supposed to affect those who have easy paper. But the easy paper in the sense that since your paper was easy, your scores are higher. And since your scores are higher, automatically when you normalize, I mean, marks may go down. But yes, technically in a normalization process, you're trying to compete with the people in the same slot. And if you've done well in your slot, it should not matter to you as such. That's what normalization is. How normalization is done, we'll have to wait and watch on that aspect. Slot 4 was very easy. I heard that. Slot 3 was quant heavy. Yeah, so there were different levels in different slots. That is true. So if I'm looking at normalization, then automatically slots where there were difficult questions or difficult, automatically there they will shoot up with the marks. Slots which were easy, they will push down the marks. So the normalization is that way. So I don't think you should right now worry. It paper is over, so you don't have any control over the paper. Let's try to put it across. So how the marks will come, what the marks will come, we don't know. As long as in your slot you have done well, I don't see a problem in you getting a good college. So don't try to compare with other slot people as to, oh, that slot was tougher and my slot was easier. As long as you feel that you have done well in the paper, I'm sure you must have scored well as such. So don't worry about, because my slot questions were tough, if I scored less. Um, Entire Quant was based on 20% of syllabus. Yes, that's what has happened from last year. Yes, I mean the paper has been a little skewed. The last slot, I believe, a lot of questions time space distance. Some other slot, there were a lot of questions probability, number system, so on and so forth. So there has been no uniformity in regards to paper. I agree with that. I'm not saying no. I mean, and also questions were focused on few topics rather than maybe across the topics. So yes, it's a little odd aspect about it, but that's how the paper has been even last year. Last year too, if you look at if you know the last year's paper pattern and this year's paper pattern, it has been uncertain with regards to the whole paper. I mean, if you look at the analysis, there is uncertainty in regards to what and how regarding the paper. So very difficult to go about it. Okay, since it's 7, let me just start. So yeah, we are experts in management entrance, trained for CAT, IPM, GMAT, interview, and CET, etc. Okay, coming to paper analysis as such. Okay, you can ask me questions and I'll try to answer the queries. Uh, Paper analysis, if I look at it, how was it? I think better than last year. Let me put it this way: a little better than last year. Last year was unexpected. They said it was expected that it was jumble paper. Last year, people were it was unexpected. Only one day before, people who saw the MCA paper realized it was jumbled. Very few people realized. The first lot people, it was real surprised that it was jumbled paper last year. And even the questions across the slots were very different from one over the other. One slot there were huge number of questions on quant, like 70, 80 questions. Other slots there were less questions of quant and so on. So if I compare with last year, if I'm looking at paper analysis, yes, it was a better paper. Could it be better? Yes, because if you look at it, even this year, the difficulty level varied with slots. I'm not getting into which slot was easy, which slot was tough. That is not the point out here. What I'm saying is, since there is a difference in difficulty level, okay, therefore the scores will be different in different slots. So there could be normalization. So there will be normalization as well. So automatically in a difficult paper, wherever people scored less, because of normalization, their scores may go down up a bit. And wherever in an easy paper where people have scored high, their scores may come down. But technically, it should not matter, because if you've done well in your slot, you will end up getting a good percentile. That's what I would put across. So don't try to compare. That's the first thing don't do right now. It is immaterial saying that my slot was easy, my slot was tough. If you feel your slot was tough, add a few marks and check up with the cutoffs. If you feel your slot was easier, subtract a few marks and compare, check with the cutoffs. Again, cutoffs are very, very vague in terms of we don't know till the actual results will come out. Also, the fact that look out for options. I mean, there are not too many seats in the paper, so look out for options. But sticking to the paper examination, they were, I mean, very different. I mean, there are few papers where there were 2 or 3 DI sets, few papers, and in some paper there were no DI sets. Okay, very vague. I mean, a couple of slots. Then there was antonym synonyms were there across slots. I think that is the easiest thing to make. Some slot there was input output, some slot they were not input output. I mean, very vague in terms of the content of the paper. I mean, it was not uniform across the slots, and because it was not uniform, very difficult to compare in terms of it. So if I had prepared for a particular topic like say time speed distance, and in my slot there were a lot of questions on time speed distance, I would be good at solving it. But since, and if I prepare for time speed distance, but in my slot there was no time speed distance questions, I would find it difficult. So yes, that vagueness is there. I'm not saying no. They also mentioned that there will be normalization. It will be equipercentile method. So if it's an equipercentile method, I don't think you should worry about the other slots. Try to focus on your slots and compare with people with your slots. So paper analysis, you will be compared with people with the same slots, and because you'll be compared with people in the same slot, I don't think it should be a problem. So the equipercentile method is what will be applied for normalization, and that's what they have mentioned. So in that case, you should not worry about the other slot paper. Look at your slot, however you compared. So there's no point worrying saying that I had too many con questions and other slot had less con questions. That doesn't matter out here. Okay. Difficult level of puzzles also varied across slots. Some slots had easy, some slots had tough. Okay, what could be? Let me just try to come gradually cutoff. This is what I'm expecting. I'm not saying no, yes, it could be more, it could be less. A range, maybe around 157 to 162 would be cutoff for Bajaj. Paper was definitely on the easier side. Let me put it this way very clearly. The paper was definitely on the easier side as compared to whatever mocks were written, and as maybe as compared to even last year. So in that case, yes, the cutoffs could touch to 160 around and 160 plus. So if that is the case, if you're expecting around that, yes, there is a chance that you may get Bajaj. Scores of yours may actually go up and down a bit based on normalization, but otherwise you can say this is a rough score in terms of cutoff. So Bajaj could be 157 to 162. Simsri Sydenham could be 152 to 157. Wellinger maybe 144 to 149 cutoffs, and SIA is 140 to 145. Put this as the top 4 institutes. Pumba also is there among the top institutes. So cutoff will be around the SIS. Pumba has more number of seats, and though the college is good, because of more number of seats, the cutoff normally slightly goes below SIS. But otherwise, Pumba also is a good college. Okay, let me just answer your queries with regards to whatever you have. If you have any query, put in the chat box. So cutoff for top 5 colleges, Modi, I put it across there. Potter, so will normalization affect those who had easy paper? So don't worry about easier tough paper. Look at your slot and work on that. Slot 4 was very easy. That's immaterial. You will be competing with people in your slot technically. Slot 3 quant heavy, yes. So if your paper was quant heavy, then people would who work strong in quant would have an advantage. But yeah, you'll be compared yourself with your this one. Quant was based on 20% of syllabus. Unfortunately, yes, they should have distributed the quant section across the paper, but no, they are focused on few. Not a right way of making the paper, but that is how the paper was. Difficulty level of puzzles I heard was easy, but in some slot it went to moderate level, and few were one-off questions were tough. So expected results date. Look, it's should ideally come across in 10-15 days, maybe even lesser than that. So because it's you already written the paper, it's already in the computer. It doesn't take time to come out with the results. They would obviously do a verification check, etc., etc. But yes, in terms of marks, it should come out in within 10-15 days as such. Okay. Slot 5A difficult. Maybe I'm not even comparing the slot. Maybe your slot was difficult, but it was difficult for all the students who wrote in that slot. So it doesn't matter, Mohsin, whether your slot had difficult questions or easy questions, because all the students in your slot will have the same type of paper, and therefore it is. Pure non-standard quality paper setting. Yes, I'm not saying the paper setting was very good. I don't think it was a great way of setting. They should have distributed the questions across topics, but they were focused on a few topics. But one way, yes, it kept people on the toes, because now you can't predict the next paper. Man, very less predictability. So people in the first slot and the people in the last slot were same in terms of unpredictability of the paper. So you couldn't actually predict. So that way, one way is good. But yes, overall, disappointment with regards to how the paper was set and how it went across. Okay. And sir, a lot of people are saying that the same thing happened in 2015. Can you explain how it is same? No, I don't think there was a time 12-13 where the paper was simple, but I think today this year's paper was similar to last year's paper. Okay. The only thing in 2015 also the paper was easier, therefore cutoff went up. So this year also we are expecting a higher cutoff. It will be, but yeah. Cutoff increased by how many marks? So this is what I mentioned. What is the expected cutoff? The actual cutoff we'll come to know. Let's keep our fingers crossed. 150 range for cutoff. Okay, cases we don't know. We are just speculating in terms of what could be the cutoff. Yes, cutoff will definitely be above 155, 150. I'm expecting about 155. It can be anywhere 157 to 162 based on your normalization of your paper, right? If your paper was tough, maybe if your slot paper was tough, that may you could even get a JB maybe with 150 to 153. That's how it could go. So if you feel that your paper slot was on a tougher side, then your normalization scores should go up, and based on that, you should be able to clear a cutoff, right? Cutoff for non-Maharashtra students are very high. I'll come across that later on. Mumbai University is a decent university, is what I would say. Okay, that's what I would say. It is a general cutoff. Now, coming across what to do next. I normally tell students keep your options open. I mean, till you get your admission in your hand, nothing is certain. And since nothing is certain, you don't know what has happened, what is not. So in that case, if you're looking only at the top few colleges, then my suggestion is also apply for the CAT. I mean, you're already prepared for the CET exam, so some part of your preparation is over. In 2.5 months, it's possible to prepare for CAT, assuming that you're prepared for CET. So apply for CET is what I would recommend strongly. Keep your, I mean, if you get a college admission, don't write CET, CAT exam. That's very clear. But if you don't get, you can always write the CAT examination and keep your options open. It should not happen that once the results come out or once afterwards your final college admission happens, or you realize that, okay, I didn't get admission to CET and I'm not even applied for CAT. Apply for CAT, doesn't matter, just apply for CAT and keep. You can decide how seriously that you're giving later on. But my suggestion is if you're applying for CAT, there's no harm in start preparing for it. If you get a good college, as I said, in JBU, etc., take it up. If you don't get a good college, and if you're capable of getting into Bajaj, obviously you're capable of scoring well in CAT and getting a good college. So my suggestion is first thing that you should do is apply for CAT. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing is look out, if you're okay with getting into other colleges also apart from, look out for optional college. There are many other colleges which are not in the gamut of the whole admission process. I mean, we talked about Bajaj, Sidney, Somaya, Wellinger, SIS, but a lot of other colleges which may not be in the admission process. And if you're looking at Maharashtra only, at Maharashtra there are many colleges which are not. For example, Somaya has gone out of it, CET, but I think Somaya will not accept anyway CET scores. They may accept CAT scores. But there are colleges like Dalmia, which have gone outside CET, but they may accept CET scores. There are colleges like IES Bandra, again gone outside CET, but may still accept CET scores. Look at these colleges. Then Pune also, there is IMDR, Pune, etc. Look at how good or how they are, etc. And look at when the admission process happens. Okay, this is one aspect about it. Apart from that, look at PG courses of these colleges. Some of the colleges have PG courses, and they are not through the CET centralized process. You have to apply to them separately. And because you have to apply them separately, look out for the PG courses as such for admission as such, right? So in that case, look out for colleges where you can take admission apart from the normal CET process. There are some decent colleges. Dalmia is supposed to be known for finance, IES, MBA Pune, and so on. Look out for. There's some colleges which are very different, which are there. If you're open to it, look out for colleges which are there, but do a proper research before you take it up. Don't just try to take up colleges just for the sake of it. Do a proper research, find out how the college is, the placements, talk to the students of the college, and then decide to take it up or not take it up. Okay. Uh, so it will be slot wise normalization, Aditya. That's what it normally EQ percentile means. That means you will be competing with people from your slot and therefore slot wise. So anyway you do, I mean in your slot if you do well, you are top in a slot, you'll get into Bajaj no matter how low you score. That's what I'd put across. So from each slot there'll be a few students will get. Yes, that could be a little bit more from one slot, one or two more from one slot, one or two less from other slot, but overall it will be similar in terms of nature. If a slot was easy, how much deduction of marks? I don't need too much of deduction in that. It could be 3-4 marks of deduction. Max 5 marks is what I expect. So expect a range of, if your score was easy, then maybe your cutoff marks may go down by 5. If your paper was tough, then maybe the marks may go up by 5. Take it that way, -5 +5. I don't think the normalization will have a lot of difference in your scores. Take a range of +5, -5 in terms of range of change of score which is there. How is Chetna College, Bandra, Atharva College? I'm not sure. Chetna was supposed to be one of the good marketing colleges. It's still okay. But yes, you can apply to Chetna. As I said, look at the colleges like Dalmia, as I put it across earlier, IES, Chetna, MET. So all these colleges have admission which are outside the whole CET process and they're supposed to be okay, decent. You can apply for the PG courses and try to take admissions. But their normal forms will come only after the CET results. The admission process will start after that. You can make a little research and find out about it. Okay, so I've just given you a brief details. Going back, this is the expected cutoffs is what is expected. Again, as I said, if your slot had a tough paper, then maybe +5 you can expect from your score. If your slot has an easy paper, maybe -5 from your score is what you could expect. I'm just putting +5, -5. It could around that range which is there, right? So look at the colleges that you can get and then maybe you can work on it. Look at the colleges outside the whole slot. Apply for CAT, apply for other exams. I think SNAP is also a good exam to apply for because SNAP has a number of colleges under it. You can apply to SNAP, CAT, SNAP, ZAT, NMAT are optional. You can look at it. I would recommend to apply for CAT, SNAP. CMAT will come afterwards. ZAT and NMAT, you can look at it later whether you need to apply it or not. IFT, etc. But my suggestion is at least apply for CAT and SAT. Look at the last dates and try to look at to apply or not. Right. I hope that is clear. I try to answer whatever queries as possible. I'll try to come up with a few more videos with regards to what you can do after the CET exam and how to do. But yes, as per my recommendation, keep your options open. That is what I would suggest. I mean, look out for other options. It should not be a surprise in the last moment that I have not got the admission and I should not apply anywhere. So look at the options and try to work on it. Right? Hope that's clear. Thank you.